This is not a kid-friendly show.
Yo, what's going on, my dudes? Today we're going to be talking about the mining and smithing rework. So another dev blog came out, and I'll have a link to that in the description below, so I suggest you go and check it out yourself. But yeah, they delved into how mining and smithing will bring profitability to these skills, which is something I'm sure a lot of you had concerns about. Before we get into all that, there's an overarching question. If mining and smithing are bringing all these new armors and weapons to the game, won't this lead to melee-scape all over again? Because mining and smithing only makes armor and weapons for melee combat. To get ranged and magic gear currently, you use crafting, fletching, and rune crafting. Jagex is aware of this problem, and they haven't spoken about how they're going to address it exactly, but there will be something done to ensure range and magic don't get left behind. I'm not sure if that means a rework to those skills as well, or if there'll be some sort of failsafe to protect range and magic when the mining and smithing rework goes live. That's yet to be seen. So, when it comes to making profits in these skills, they've taken on the approach of balancing out XP rates versus profitability and giving them an inverse correlation. What that means is when one goes up, the other goes down. So, there will be methods to train that give great XP rates but low profit, and methods with high profit but low XP rates. We've already seen this with skills like divination. You can choose to use up your energies when training for better XP with no profit, or you can convert all your memories into energy for hardly any XP but lots of money. I'm not saying look at divination to give you an idea of the XP rates and profitability you can expect from mining and smithing. I'm simply saying it'll have a similar looking format. Another thing I want to put out there is the issue of will or should skilling be as profitable as PVM. First up, to understand this, Jagex says there needs to be a clear distinction between bossing and killing things like Slayer mobs. Most players just lump them in as PVM, but the distinction must be made. That's because Jagex wants to align the profitability of mining and smithing with Slayer, which makes sense because Slayer is a non-combat skill that has high profitability, and other skills should follow that mold. Now, when I say non-combat, I mean it doesn't affect your combat level. Just to be clear, because it's obviously combat-based skill, but I just wanted to make sure you guys know what I meant when I said that. This isn't bad news for Slayer at all, by the way. They don't want to bring the profitability of Slayer down at all. They want to bring mining and smithing up to what Slayer is now or close to it. Jagex also says that they don't want any skills to be as profitable as bossing at all. That's something I totally agree with. It totally makes sense to make skills as profitable as Slayer, as they're next to no risk killing most Slayer mobs, but the profits are still sky high. Bossing, however, requires serious technical know-how that varies greatly from boss to boss. Currently, you can't replicate the level of difficulty bossing has with non-combat skills, and until you can, those skills should not make more than bossing. Let me know if you guys agree. I wouldn't mind hearing opposing arguments. Finally, Jagex finishes with a question to us. Everything we've talked about so far is with the assumption of high-level mining and smithing, but what about the low levels? Should mining and smithing be profitable all throughout its leveling, or only really profitable in the high levels? In both scenarios, there's still incentive to train the skills, but the incentives are slightly different. In the first scenario, there's immediate return on your efforts, where in the second, you're training through these early levels because you know when you reach the upper levels, it will be well worth your time. I think for me, I want the latter, and I may be biased because I'm already 99 in mining and smithing, but I think it feels more natural that way. If it was lucrative since level 1, I feel like they'd have to shoehorn in some artificial demands for the lower tier items because by their very nature of being low level, people aren't going to want them. Not only that, but with the second scenario, they give players a goal to reach and something to strive for. I mean, there's good arguments for the first scenario, but I just prefer the second. What do you guys think? Alright guys, just to recap, something will be done to help ranged and magic. You will have to decide when training if you want good XP rates or good profit. Money making will be in line with Slayer. Bossing will still make more money. And it's up to the players with what to do with lower levels. Anyways guys, I appreciate your time. Links below as always. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you enjoyed me, why not subscribe? I got new RuneScape videos just about every single day. Thanks for watching guys. I'm out. Peace.